massive news in the world of boxing as Daniel Dubois has now been given the green light to defend his IBF heavyweight title against Fabio Wardley if the Anthony Joshua rematch does not take place next. So, as we all know, Daniel Dubois is coming off, without a doubt, the biggest win of his career, where he knocked out Anthony Joshua in Wembley to successfully defend his IBF heavyweight title. Now, as soon as the match had finished up and everyone seen the outcome of Anthony Joshua being knocked out by Daniel Dubois, the rumours started circulating that the rematch was going to happen. Eddie Hearn, after the result of the fight, said that Anthony Joshua will activate his rematch clause to rematch Daniel Dubois. Ever since then, that's kind of been the talk that AJ is going to rematch Daniel Dubois. However, recently it's came out in news that Daniel Dubois is meant to be fighting in February. I think Frank Warren and Turki Al-Sheikh are looking to have Daniel Dubois defend his IBF title in February. And the camp of Anthony Joshua, mainly Eddie Hearn, has now came out and said they don't know if Anthony Joshua will be ready in time to fight on that date, and they're looking at other options, potentially waiting to see who wins out of Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury and making a decision on AJ's career then. So that then means Daniel Dubois will be needing a new opponent if AJ is not going to accept the rematch. So I came across this post here from Michael Benson that says the IBF have reaffirmed that Daniel Dubois can choose his next opponent as a voluntary defence if the Anthony Joshua rematch doesn't happen next. So these are a list of opponents that the IBF will allow Daniel Dubois to make a voluntary defence against if the AJ fight doesn't happen next. So first off, we've got Kabayel. That's not going to happen because I'm pretty sure him and Martin Bakuli are meant to be fighting each other, and I'm pretty sure their fight has just went to purse bids. So I don't think it's going to be either one of those guys, to be honest. Next up, we've got Zhilei Zhang. That's a fun matchup. Obviously, Zhang is coming off that massive win over Deontay Wilder, where he knocked him out at the 5v5 event, Eddie Hearn versus Frank Warren. He got a really impressive KO over Deontay Wilder. Stylistically, Zhilei Zhang and Daniel Dubois is just such a fun matchup. Both guys are very big punchers. Zhilei Zhang's a southpaw. Would that give Daniel Dubois problems? He's also a big puncher. Daniel Dubois can be cracked. It would be interesting to see. Frank Sanchez isn't going to happen. Efe Ajagba, I think I said his name right. Again, a fight that's not going to happen. Filip Hrgovic, we've already seen it. The rematch just is not going to happen. I don't get why that's even an option, to be honest. Derek Chisora, please do not make Daniel Dubois versus Derek Chisora, because it wouldn't be a good sight for Derek Chisora. Otto Wallen, again, he hasn't done much after being smoked by Anthony Joshua. He's not a massive name. Doesn't make sense. Then you've got Fabio Wardley, and then you've got Jared Anderson, and then you've got two other guys that they're realistically, it's just not going to happen, so I'm not going to waste my time talking about them. Jared Anderson, I don't think he deserves the fight, to be honest, after coming off that knockout loss to Martin Bakuli. I don't think Jared Anderson and his team would take that fight. Well, maybe they would because a heavyweight title is on the line, but I think Jared Anderson, he is still young, should go back and get a couple of, not gimme fights, but high-level opposition that he should more than likely beat to rebuild his confidence, because he took a beating in there against Martin Bakuli. Out of all those guys there, Fabio Wardley is the fight, for me anyway, that I want to see next for Daniel Dubois. So if we're just looking at Fabio Wardley's record, he's currently got 18 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw. He's got 17 wins by KO. I'm pretty sure he currently holds the WBO European Heavyweight title, the Commonwealth Boxing Heavyweight title, and the British Heavyweight title. So he's kind of around the British level scene at the minute, European scene. He is coming off a massive win over Fraser Clark. I mean, what that guy done to him, one of the scariest knockouts I've seen. It genuinely looked like Fraser Clark was having a seizure or a stroke in there with just how hard Fabio Wardley cracked him. We seen he busted his jaw, he had a big indent in his head, and he smoked him inside one round. So it's clear that Fabio Wardley has outgrown this scene now, and in my opinion, I think he should take the jump to world level. Now, do I think he'll beat the likes of Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois? Who knows? Maybe he doesn't have the boxing, the amateur experience of those guys, but the guy is extremely athletic. He's fearless in there, and he can punch. The guy has some serious power in there. Plus, he's athletic. His biggest win of his career, obviously, is the Fraser Clark fight. He has beaten David Adelaide as well, but outside of that, there's not really much to go off. Daniel Dubois would obviously be the massive favourite going into this matchup. He is proven at world level. Daniel Dubois has a current record of 22 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 21 wins coming by KOs. His 2 losses, though, have came from stoppage, and going in there against a guy like Fabio Wardley, who will put it on you. We've seen how tough and durable he is in the Fraser Clark fight in their first one. He's fearless. He hits hard. I just think it's a really stylistic, fun matchup for the heavyweight division if the AJ fight doesn't happen. It's another all British matchup as well. You could have this in an event in the UK. It wouldn't sell out at Wembley. It wouldn't do a stadium, I don't think. Well, depending on how the undercard would look, if it's a Riyadh season event, etc. But it would sell out the O2, and it is a massive fight. Obviously, Daniel Dubois, his biggest win is Anthony Joshua. Before the run Daniel Dubois on at the minute is insane. He's just knocked out Anthony Joshua. He stopped Filip Hrgovic. He stopped Jarrell Miller. These are 3 big wins for Daniel Dubois. This guy's found a newfound form. Him and his team. He's only 27. They're firing on all cylinders here again. Daniel Dubois is a scary guy for these guys in the division because he is another fighter that's fearless and will put it on you and is looking to get you out of there. He's not looking to throw any pity patter shots. He's looking to go in there for the kill early, and we've seen that in the AJ fight. Daniel Dubois, Fabio Wardley is the matchup that I would like to see if the AJ rematch does not materialise. I think Daniel Dubois would beat Fabio Wardley. I think he would stop him. But it's just such an interesting matchup because I feel like for anyone to have success now against this new version of Daniel Dubois, you have to put a dent in him, and you have to put a dent in him early. And that's something that AJ didn't do, and he got smothered and he got drowned in there by Daniel Dubois. I think Fabio Wardley will meet fire with fire and look to hurt him and put a dent in him earlier on. I think it's such a fun matchup. For me, I'd pick Daniel Dubois to knock him out, stop him maybe in rounds 8 or 9. But if the AJ fight can happen, Daniel Dubois, Fabio Wardley, make it happen for the IBF title. That's what I want to see next. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you again in the next one.